Welcome everybody. Welcome to the last New York session of this week. Good morning, good morning. Back to the old Zoom format. Yeah, I wanted to test something. I wanted to really test something over here because I didn't really find a advantage of using the new Zoom. Like the new Zoom is like almost 300 a month. That's what it costs me, 300 a month. So I'm trying to bring my cost down. So just going to try to see this here. Just trying to figure out a few things. Let's take a look here. So we have, just gonna make sure everyone has this link here. Copy link. Just give it to everybody. GJ seems like it's doing a retest. Had a very nice run on GJ. I think it has more room to continue down to 130, 260. We'll see what happens today. Let's see, what else do we have? Good morning, good morning. Hey. First thing in the morning I wake up, what I do is I take a shower. First thing in the morning. You know, get fresh, take a shower.
Stock pick.
And then come on over here with a fresh mind. But I think it's going to continue dropping, GJ here. If you look on the weekly, we were right. Yesterday weekly was just pulling up for a continued push in on Friday. You see this daily candle? This daily candle has a very high probability to continue down to 130, 200, filling this daily candle wick. 4 hours bearish has just started. This is the 1 hour here. 1 hour is respecting the same area I had drawn from yesterday. It's respecting this as resistance. The 30-minute is also respecting this as resistance. Man, this thing is gonna. Once it breaks this low, I think it's gonna continue moving down. Such a send a chart. Let's take a look here. Support formed, new high created, TP1, TP2, waiting for this candle to close bullish. Yeah, I mean, if you have this bullish candle close, then you can take a buy. But this is, I think this is going to go bearish, man. Look at that. I mean, for buys, if someone's looking for buys, I think good buys are going to be above 130, 100, because here you have a little bit of consolidation, but then you have clean candles that came down. So that's going to be a better position to take buys above 131. Hold on. Yeah, I think that's going to be a good idea. Okay, so basically, because let's say we break above here for buys, right? We break above here, you have this candle, so this comes from what, like 137.50 up to 139.00, and then you have these wicks. So once price comes up, it's going to look left and say, well, you know, candles rejected this area, so we might want to reject here too, you know, so it's going to get very tricky. But once price comes up above over here, you know, and once it crosses this area to continue going up, then you have these clean candles here to the left. You know, these clean candles here to the left. And you can say, okay, now price will have a much easier, fuck man, language barrier. Much easier way to go up, whatever the word is. But right now, since the trend is bearish, we had a support formed over here, right? And then if I remove these arrows, let me just get rid of these arrows over here. We had a support formed to the left hand side. This was support respected here again. This candle broke down. Then these candles created resistance. They continued down. This candle came down over here. We made another support, continued up. This rejected this area as resistance now. You know, in a downtrend, you try to sell resistance. It rejected this as resistance. This candle broke the low of the previous candle. It's coming down to a support. And since the trend is down, the momentum is down, there's going to be volume coming in pretty soon. As long as you stay below 137.50, I think we're going to continue moving down, break the support, and this is going to be our target right here around 13300. So 13300 is on its way. I think there are no buys. I think, yeah, I don't think there are any buys on GJ. This is going to be one of those end of the week pushes. This is also my birthday month, so far it's going pretty good. Yeah, this was like in a long time I held the trade. I held my sells from 131.250. Yeah, right here. From 131.250, held it all the way down to 131.670, 680. Well, I went to bed, so yeah. Yeah, look at that. And this thing is gonna drop top. This thing is gonna come down. Look at this 4 hour just coming down. Like if you have positions from this range, I think your stop is going to be good at 13800. Just manage your risk, know exactly how much you're going to lose, and then just I I think it's going to continue down. And GJ is bearish. Once this minor support breaks, it's gonzo. What made you sell from the top? What made me sell from the top? Well, this candle went up. Once this candle closed, like my bias was bearish, right? That was my bias. If I sent the analysis in the Asian channel. So if you look at those analysis, my analysis was that the weekly pulled up to continue driving down on Friday. So that was my analysis, right? I looked at the daily and I'm like, okay, well, like, you know, the daily has to make a top wick, but then eventually it has to continue moving down. I've seen this happen before when a candle like this forms and next candle, like people think this it's going to continue driving up because it closed bullish candle with like a rejection, but I've seen most of the times the next candle starts going the opposite way, you know, and then it continues down to fill the wick here. So that's something I had in mind, and I was looking to see that, okay, what kind of a confirmation I can get. The first confirmation I got was once we broke above 131. So my analysis was like we have to break above 131 300 to continue heading up, you know. But once this candle closed bearish, the 30-minute candle, and once this next candle was starting forming, and once it went up and started to continue down bearish, I entered a sell, you know, because I was like, okay, well, you know, if I enter a sell right over here, my stop is going to be like what, 13 14 pips. I'll risk maybe $1,500 just to get like 10 12 pips. So once the position started running, in my head I was like, well, you know, I have a pretty good entry right here, so why don't I just put stops at break even? And then I entered some more sells. They got up to like, you know, 10 20 pip profits. I closed those. So the one up over here, I put it at break even and went to bed and woke up and I was up 50 pips, and then I closed it. Let's check this chart here, SE Krana. So this is USD CAD consolidation. If 30-minute candle closed bullish, possible buy to dotted line. Yeah, yeah, it makes sense. You'll have to be careful though because there's consolidation here to the left. So you'll have to be careful in that aspect. Good morning. Sorry for spamming. Could you check my question, please? Oh, trust me, you're not spamming at all. Spamming is done by people in the YouTube chat. GJ, zone invalid because of clean candles. No, this zone is. What do you mean? This zone is valid. This is support right here. You have a clean support drawn, so this is pretty good. I think you can have a clean trade. This is a selling area right here because it's a clean candles here. think it's great. I mean, once we break below 135.30, it's going to continue down to 133.00. So I don't think there's any need to miss out on some pips. Can we send charts of past trades taken? I have a question. Yeah, sure, I'll try. Not sure if I was too early on my entry, but this is my thoughts. Let's take a look here. GJ 1 hour. Yeah, it's good. I mean, you have a stop loss up over here, so it's good. I think it's great. I mean, sells is the idea here. I think it's great. It's a great idea for selling. Whoever's trying to sell, I think your stop is going to be at 138.00. Keep your stops at 138.00, and I think you can have a very good outcome for these sells. I'm already in one sell, and that's about it. Other than that, I'm not taking any more trades. Why don't you have a monthly YouTube to join as a member? Oh, because I don't need the money. When you say break below 530, are you saying touch below or close below that number? See, that's where overthinking comes in. You can't overthink stuff. The touch below, like it's the first time I've heard like touch below, like just, I mean, you have a stop, you have a stop loss, you have a target, and next is just execution. But execution also means that you're executing on the fact that if it goes against you, how are you executing? And if it goes in your direction, how are you executing? Like where you're taking profits. Like if it goes against you, what are you doing to minimize your risk? What are you doing? Right? And if it goes in profits, where are you taking profits? Where are you leaving runners run? So those kind of things you have to keep in mind. So if you see right here, it's going to continue dropping. One 130.662. We can't talk because you muted everybody. Yes. Yes. Did Vantage charge you 20 units of your account currency when you make withdrawals through international transfer? Oh yeah. Yeah, wire transfers usually it takes $20. Is that where you got the idea? I watched episode 86. Is that where you got the idea if a player makes a new high mindset towards learning? Yes. That's exactly where I got the idea. That's exactly like I was listening to it. I was listening and I had an epiphany. And the epiphany was that, man, like it makes sense. If price is trending up, it's creating highs. And after it creates highs, it's going to come down, create a support, and then it's going to continue moving up. That was the idea. The rest, like looking at the candles, what confirmations to see, then start to dive into like, okay, if it's not working out, what are the things I need to see for it to not working out, and how can I minimize risk? If I'm going to do this, what's going to be my confirmations to say, okay, maybe now I have to minimize risk, maybe now I have to maybe add positions, or maybe this makes sense. So all those things come from like testing it and watching it happen over and over again. Check US 30, it's breaking like yesterday. Let's take a look here. US 30. US 30. it seems like US 30 is at a resistance. Formed a resistance, kind of breaking below here. To be honest, since I've been trading GJ for a while. I've been trading strictly GJ for about 2 years straight, and so far it's been pretty good to the fact that I wanted to trade US 30, something more volatile, but I never really got attracted to it, and now like it's really hard. I'd say like trading US 30 is extremely hard. The name of the podcast is it's Chat with Traders, episode 82. This is the podcast name, episode 82, Futures Trader 71. I listen to this podcast once a week, the whole podcast, like about an hour, hour and a half. Once a week, and every time I listen to it, there's something new. Always something new I'm picking up. It's like when you watch a movie. When you watch a movie a couple of times, there's something new you pick up every time. Are you only trading GJ every day? Yes. Every day, GJ. Let's take a look at this chart. This is NZD USD. Oh, nice. Beautiful. I was waiting for a chart from Charlene, but I think we'll have to wait. Can you check how my chart's set up? Let's take a look here. This chart set up bearish trend, UJ, candle creating low. Yeah, I think it's good. I think the stop is also good. The stop could be a little conservative coming down over here, but it's still, I think it's pretty good. Zones on GJ, yeah, they work. They work. I think there's another one like a minor support zone right over here. If you look on the 30-minute charts, you'll see that there's a minor support right here around 130, 580, 570 that's trying to break. Like this candle is trying to break it. Because when you go to the small time frames, you're going to see multiple zones, So you need your things to be very clean. So very clean, you look at the 30-minute or the 1 hour, because currently now you're looking at how these candles to the left, they closed above 135.70, let's say, and then these two candles here, they closed above 135.70 as well. So for price to continue down, you want this candle to close below this area, so you want that to happen for price to continue moving down. So when you're doing analysis on the high time frames, it means it's going to take like a longer time for it to formulate, but it's going to be good confirmations. Let's look at pre-markets. Pre-markets are down, so this means US 30 should move down. I mean, that's what we saw yesterday as well, right? Pre-markets were down, so it meant the US 30 should move down. So let's see if that works here today or not. Like I've been watching US 30 for about a month now, a little over a month. In my broker, 10-cent lot is 10 cents per pip. Is that normal? It should be, yeah, it's good. It's good because no, it should be like $1 because like 10 pips on a 10-cent lot should be $10. Leroy, would I say it will be a valid sell entry if 30-minute close bearish? It broke the low of the previous candle, anticipating a push down, but the support is there. It would be risky trade. Yes. So you need a break below here. Yeah, you'll need a break below. You'll need a break below there. So it's in a range right now. It's in a range right now. Not going down, but it's in a range right now. All right, what's this chart? This is took an entry after candle formed below previous low below the range. This one, okay. Clean candle to the left. Entry was right over here. I don't know why a candle reversed to bullish at London Open. Nothing says buys. High time frame also said sells. Okay. So seemed like you did go into a profits. So was it like a full loss, or was it like a 50% loss, or did you secure something as price came down? Because it seemed to me that it should have continued moving down. Oh, full loss. Okay. Yeah, it seems like you did go in some sort of pips here. So yeah, I think should have secured. Yeah, that's true. Should have secured. I always secure. Whenever price comes, it's like when price moves like this, like it moved till here. So when it moves like this, I'm always looking to secure, because if price comes back to my entry after having this, like kind of like a, I'd say like a large move, because for me it's like a pretty good move. I'm always looking to see that, okay, if it comes back to my entry, I'm getting out at break even, or if it's going to go past my entry back into drawdown, I'm at least letting like 50% run, because my aim is to never take a full loss. That's my aim. Don't not taking a full loss at all, right? You got to be like a rabbit. When a rabbit sees signs of danger, the rabbit just runs. It doesn't sit around and wait. The hyenas, they sit around and wait, and they get eaten up by the lions. So you got to be like a rabbit. Whenever price comes back to your entry, just book it out. It's better to take a partial loss than to guess that, okay, it might continue moving down. But don't you have to give the candle room to move? Well, yeah, I mean, now that's up to you, right? That's up to you. If you want the candle room to move, then sure. But if price is going to go past my entry into a drawdown, I want 50% to go in a drawdown, because then there's a chance it might hit my stop loss. So then you have to decide whether you want price to hit your complete stop loss, or you want price to hit your 50% stop loss. And when price goes into a drawdown after going in profits, there's a what I've experienced is that there's a high chance it's going to hit my stop loss. That's what I've noticed personally. I'm not sure about you guys, but that's what I've noticed. So I get out of it. Between indices and currencies, which one is more easy to trade? I think currencies are pretty easy to trade. Oh, battery is dying. How has Ramadan been? Pretty good. Hello, I'm new from Iran. Glad to see your channel. Do you think the trend of GJ will be up or down? Which one is more likely? Thanks. I think going down is most likely. Going down is most likely because, daily is bearish, 4 hours bearish, 1 hour is bearish, 30 minutes bearish, 15 minutes now it's time to go bearish. I mean, this just screams that this is going to continue down. First thing I said, it came to the stream and said, yeah, it's bearish. Are you fasting? Yes. What's your analysis on gold? My analysis on gold is ranging. Stay away from gold, man. Look at that. It's ranging here. Let me get the charger for my headset. Just battery's dying. Um, if someone wants to be unmuted, let me know. Just raise your hand and then I'm gonna unmute you. So yeah, see, this is gonna continue moving down. Can I sell gold if it breaks below 1728? 1728. I think a good area to sell gold would be below 1727 for it to continue moving down. What's your advice for sniper entries? There's no such thing as sniper entries. When people say sniper entries, there's no such thing as sniper entries because most times what happens is that sniper entries are shown after the trade has run into 30, 40 pips profit. It doesn't make any sense. You know, there's no such thing as sniper entries. They are educated entries. So educated entry was right over here. We discussed this in the, oh well, oh, you're not in the group. Yeah, so those were nice entries. So we're hitting 13500. This is the first target being reached from last night. And I posted 13500, and now I think it should continue moving to 13300. What is the reality of double bottom and double top pad in reality? Does it really works? I don't know what they are. I mean, I know what they are, but I've never focused on those. Please, brother, I took some losses yesterday at an Asian session. What helps? You create a mental note of your losses, not to repeat them again? Yes. Please, do you think BTC will turn bearish soon? I have no idea what Bitcoin is doing. Partially taken losses, if your stop loss is 10 pips, you close at 5 pips. Yeah, I closed percentage of my positions. Always, I close percentage of my positions. What's this? Hello there.
Morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Good, and you?
Good. Wanted some thoughts and comments on my GG analysis. Thank you. All right, let's take a look. Yeah, it's a Friday. Just keep it cool. What's this? GG 15 minute waiting for a break and retest at the resistance level to sell off the bounce. Yeah, that looks good. So you're waiting for a low to be formed to maybe create a resistance and then continue down. That's good. See now, as this is closing, it's closing below 135.70, and the 15 minute is also closing bearish. 1 hour is also closing bearish. I mean, it's it's pretty nice. You know, now like if you had stops above 13800, now you bring them down to 13700 above this candle and expecting the next candles to continue bearish without breaking the high of the previous candle. Oh, we have another participant. Hello there.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. My entry right now, what do you think? Let's take a look here. This is, oh, wow. This is some, I don't know, man. Candles are moving down and you're taking a buy. Yeah, it's not a good entry. I think it's a bad entry. I think that's a bad entry. Yeah. Now, don't get mad because you asked me what I think. I think it's a bad entry. GA is setting up for buys. Can I see your opinion on it? Yes, send a chart. We'll take a look. Just made a stupid mistake of following yesterday's session, thinking it would today. Ooh, yeah. See, it's a different session today. DG DJ30. Let's take a look here. DJ30. Oh, wrong chart. Oh, US30 is moving down. I feel like Ted today. Come on, come on. So right now what we see is that price is breaking below this area over here, and the futures are down today, so it just makes perfect sense for price to continue down here. I mean, you can't really say that price will go up because when you see candles are going down, you just think that this will be the area right over here, and we have seen US 30 for so long, so it should continue down. Yeah. So having said that, we should have a TED soundboard. Oh man. Yeah, see now this hour close, 15-minute close bearish, 30-minute close bearish. So, it just makes perfect sense for it to continue moving bearish now. I mean, if you have sells from this zone over here, like around 640 or 600, you're up like almost 10, 12 pips. Just secure some pips and put stops at break even and let it run. Taking a sell right now is very risky because it's taking a sell now is going to be very, very idiotic right now. That's going to be a very bad decision to make because you're basically selling a low over here. I mean, it could drop, but you're basically it's bad practice. All right, what's this chart here? This is GPNCD. If break above, wait for retest to take buys. Selling buys catch move after 3 days of ranging. Yeah, this makes sense. This makes sense. I think now you need to break it down on the 1 hour chart and the 30 minutes to see what's going on. Let's take a look here. What was this? GPNZD? Oh wow, it is coming up. It's coming up to this resistance. Yeah, I think if there's a support forming, you will have a very good opportunity to continue moving up. Once it breaks up, starts forming a support, and then it's going to retest the high, wherever it creates the high. Oh, so someone sold over here. Why is this a bad entry? Because if you didn't have entries from this range when we were talking about it, it should continue moving down. Now, once price breaks support, it's going to create a low, right? And once it creates a low, it's going to have some sort of a retracement. And that retrace, so if you sold down over here, that retracement is going to take you into a drawdown. So it's better to wait for some retracement, for a resistance to be formed, and then a continuation down. So if you had sells within this range, just like I did, you would have secured positions here, put stops at break even, and just let it run. Someone's saying, I think Ted is mute. No, he's not even here. Raja, structure is the main king in the market, like higher highs, higher lows. Yes. How can you put stops at break even without magic keys? Please don't get mad asking. Why would I get mad? Why do people? No, I'm not gonna get mad. You just drag you go to your MetaTrader and then you drag the stop loss over to your entry. That's what you do. Can you look at my chart, please? Yes, take a look here. GU. If price breaks above this resistance, looking for buys, okay. If price breaks below the support, looking for sells, target around 24 pips. Yeah, makes sense. Your zones are correct. Zones are absolutely correct. GBP USD. Let's take a look here. Let's remove my zones and go to the 1 hour. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, you have a selling bias and looks like it is kind of going bearish here, so it looks good. Let's take a look on the 30 minute. 30 minute is also bearish. So here's the thing, right? Let's take a look at the Chinese indicator here a little bit. It's not always correct, but sometimes it's okay. See, now pound is weak and the yen is really, really strong. Pound is weak and the dollar is like okay, so that's why you see GJ moving bearish more because the yen is super strong and the pound is really weak. GU needs to break below this area to continue moving down. So now GU is mostly affected by the pound and the US at the same time. So if the US is weak, like if the US dollar is weak and if the pound is weak, then price is just going to consolidate. It's going to have a hard time moving. But for GU to head down, you need dollar to be really, really strong. So maybe we might get that strength with NY Open. But what I can say is that once this 30-minute candle starts breaking the lows, I think aggressive entries with stops is going to be above this current 30-minute candle which is forming, because then this will become the breakout candle. So see now GJ is also moving down. So this was your breakout candle here. Can I deposit around 500 pounds into my trading account per month? Would you build this up in a particular value? No, I think what I would do is, this also goes towards the people who've been spending money on, like, the funding account challenges and losing. What I would do is I would put 500 pounds, or if you can afford, like, 1,000 pounds, I'd put that. And then, oh, wow, look at that. US 30 is moving. US 30 is moving down. Damn. I learned something yesterday. I learned that the futures market, if it's down, if US 30 is showing bearish signs, it's going to continue moving down. Perfect. Crack the code. Now I think from next week or the week after that, I can start trading US 30. So what I would do is I would put, like, 500 pounds or 1,000 pounds, and I would trade with that for a month, 2 months. And if I'm profitable and if I see I'm making gains, then I would put in more money. And if I see if I'm making gains, then I would sign up with a funding company and then trade their money. That's what I would do. Because then I would know that I'm profitable, so then I can make money there too. And as you see, GJ is continuing moving down here. We are reaching 130, 300 pretty soon. Can't believe it, man. We do this every day. This is like reality. Every day we do this. Look at this push. Wow. Someone who sold down over here, you're probably in good spot right now. You're lucky it didn't go up. Should I hold GJ sells or close position? Austin, what's your entry? What's your entry point? 409. Oh wow, 409. Yeah, I mean, what I would do is I would secure 80% and I would put the rest with stops at break even. That's what I would say. That's what I would do. Because essentially the entry should have been somewhere over here. So if your entries are late, wait, 130, 409. Oh, you just sold right over here? Yeah, that's a bad entry. That's a really bad entry. GU is having problems breaking down. I have the message. Can you please unmute me? Yes, you need to raise your hand. Raise your hand in the class. What did you get off your webinar? What you don't get in this live stream? Well, if you know, you know. People message me saying, "Oh, how can we join market fluidity? How can we do this? How can we do that?" They all ask all sorts of questions. And to everyone, my answer is, listen. When you know you will be ready for market fluidity, you will know. And that's that's how it is. Like you will know when you will know. Can you try my link, brother? Let's take a look here. Oh, wrong chart. All right, what's this? Yesterday, right after your analysis on Asian session, I've done my own analysis too, and I was reasonable. So I've placed a buy order at 300 and a sell and what? Placed a buy order at 300 and a sell entry at TP and sell also closed in TP. I've sent this also in the group, but don't know if you saw it. Yeah, I don't know if I saw it. Which channel did you send it to? All right, what's this? Yesterday, right after your analysis and aging session, I've done my own analysis too. I was reasonable. Oh, okay. Was your entry trigger based on a 15-minute time frame or break of the low on the 30-minute candle? I think I was tempted to wait for a break of the low, but did manage to get in second part. 15-minute got bearish retracement. Yeah, my idea was like from here. Once it broke the low here, my whole analysis was like it will break support, it will go down. So I think confidence and experience played a big part in that. TP hit and buy and TP hit and sells. Yeah, I'm not sure where you sent it because you have to be very specific where you sent the chart because there are a lot of charts in Slack as you've seen. Why do you prefer GJ than GU? Because I prefer GJ in Asian and in the New York session more because it's influenced by just the pound. That's it. It's not influenced by the yen, just with the pound. All right, USD ZAR. Candle broke previous highs. Okay. Clean traffic. I'm skeptical about this candle, possibly overexhausted. See this buy setup often. Okay, yeah. So basically now you're looking for a support to be because now it's making a high. It has to come down, create a support, and then continue moving up. So I think there's a fair bit of a waiting involved since this is a 30-minute chart. Look at my GG trades from yesterday and how it has played out so far. All right, let's take a look. What's this? My thought process since yesterday, 2 successful trades, pullback, fib level, waited for resistance. Nice. Very nice. Playing out very nice. I think it should come down to this, whatever this is, 1. Yeah, 130, 200. That should be the overall target. What is the, in my opinion, series will be about? I think it's going to be a very objective look into how you should approach funded companies. Just like a little perspective, like from someone who doesn't need, because like um, since I've been since my posts about funding companies, like a lot of people, like they got hurt over my opinions and they started messaging me about it and they said, well, it's good. I'm like, yeah, it's good, but like I'm thinking of it from a perspective of someone who doesn't need funding. If I was looking from a perspective of someone who needs funding, I would say it's a great idea. So I'm just going to give like a very educated perspective on how you should approach it. It's a great idea to make money, and I think the video is really going to help people on when and how to go about that. Hello there. Oh, looks like I can't. Oh, there we go.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Raja, tell me you still have the runner from on GJ.
No, I closed everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Well, I still have a small portion of my entry. My entry was at 131.22, 21.3. Still running nice. We talked about this yesterday. Pullback was expected, and then we may continue going down today to close the weekly bearish, you know.
Yeah,
Do you get anything
I
of
think so
that,
too.
Chris, this morning? Oh, okay, Chris is mute. Okay. Um,
So I'm back now. I thought I was still in the Google.
you sounded like, okay.
Morning,
Do you get
gentlemen.
morning? Do you get anything on
Yes.
GJ this morning?
Yeah, we did. We had sales, and we discussed exactly where you've basically marked up on the screen as well for potential extra entries. So yeah, sales this morning, kind of from the top zone, which is pretty nice. So yeah, it's good.
That's perfect. That's awesome.
Didn't hold anything myself, to be honest. I've actually had some gold trades that I've been holding. So, but yeah, it looks pretty good though. I think looking at the 4 hour on GJ, you got a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Well, before this 4 hour started is what we were talking about. But about it kind of pulled up, it had no lower wick, kind of ranged a little bit, and then it started to push down. As soon as it did, you had a solid option down back to that level at the bottom, I think.
Yeah, we broke it down.
Broke it down good.
Sells and buys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, you had sales and buys.
Because right now where Raja has marked the shadow area, 130, 250, somewhere there. That's a sensible,
Yeah.
target. It's easy for GG to get there.
Mm-hmm.
But I still believe today, if there's nothing going on GVP, any fundamental coming out later on,
Yep.
we may continue going down even more, maybe 130, 130.10, somewhere there.
Yeah. I was looking at that daily levels. I was kind of looking at maybe. It depends how heavy it pushes. If we exceed the previous candle on the daily, if we get to there, I think it probably maybe even get as far as 29.8. But then at the end of the week, it'd have to get there pretty soonish, then pull back maybe to leave a wick, right? So I don't know whether it'll go that far. But I think you've got good potential to fill this wick from yesterday at least.
Yeah. All right.
Looks good, man.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice.
Mm-hmm. So when did you? You said I was listening. I was trying to find a button to put my hand up, so I didn't get to ask the question. But you said you had a buy from, a sell from right up at the top.
Yeah,
Yeah.
131, 250.
That's good work, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got the entry to 4 pips below that. 131 to 13, because basically I didn't want to fight that shallow area, that small resistance that is right there. Right
So
there.
it's
I
kind
didn't
of
want to fight, so I basically let me see if I can show.
is that kind of Asian openish then, and then does that make sense?
Yeah, basically. So my entry was around this area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there's a solid level to the left there, like further left, which I'm guessing where you've got your mark zone.
Yeah.
Which is sensible, man.
Yeah.
Nice play.
I mean, that small push during Asian opening was expected. We discussed it yesterday, and from there, once we start breaking this area right here, man, it's going to retest at least this week and so on.
It's kind of just creating a daily high then, right? So,
yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Then it kind of makes yesterday's candle relevant then.
Yeah, I'm expecting a touchdown again down to 130, 140. And since it's the end of the week, we might get a longer drop.
Right, let's take a look at this. This is Euro New Zealand. Buy stop above this range. Oh, you got this buy stop then. Seems like you got this buy stop. Very nice, very nice. Good morning. The Zoom link is requiring a password to access. No, I don't think so. We have 120 people logged in right now. It's also sent in the Slack for everybody. Oh, okay, this is a chart here. So someone took a buy stop, and a sell stop. So sell stop played out, but the buy stop, oh, buy stop also got activated. I see that, Vinny. Yeah, that's good. Oh, it really is asking for a password. All right, let me just paste the password.
Hey,
Hello there, hello there.
the password's in Slack. It's
Yeah,
underneath
yeah, I just found it.
where you posted the invite.
Can you break that entry down from the high time frame so that we understand what you saw on your Asian trade? Yeah, so when I sent my analysis on the Asian session, my whole idea was that okay, the weekly pulled up to continue driving down. You know when you have news events, and in news events, you know if the news is really bad, price drops down, then there's a retracement on the 15-minute candle, and then there's a further drive down. So that's what I anticipated on the weekly. I anticipated on the weekly to like it kind of pulled up. So I said, okay, well, maybe if it's trying to pull up, maybe on Friday it's going to drive down. That was my whole analysis based on the weekly, just visualizing that. So then I had to like make sense of it from the smaller time frames, right? So I went to the daily. I'm like, okay, so let's see on the daily. So then on the daily, I said, okay, for the weekly to drive down, the daily has to go bearish. That was my intent. Okay, for the weekly drive down, daily has to go bearish. So now, if the daily has to go bearish, that means the 4 hour and the 1 hour have to find some sort of a resistance, right? So then I said, okay, well, let's take a look at now. This was the Asian session, so started looking on the 4 hour, and then I said, okay, well, the 4 hour is over here. This is when the Asian open, new market open candle started. It was at this previous support, which turned into a resistance. So I'm like, okay, perfect. So at this area right here. So now I want a resistance to be created on the smaller time frames to be able to execute on this trade. And the whole idea was for it to continue moving down to retest the low. So I went down to the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour didn't really show much except for the fact that this candle broke up and then this candle went down. So I went to the 30-minute time frame, and when I saw the 30-minute candle closing below 131,300, I said to myself, well, if I take a sell here, the risk is around 15 pips, but the reward is going to be, the daily is going to be way down there. So in my head I was like, okay, I can possibly risk something here because I've seen it happen. I've never executed it on it. I've always missed it, so maybe I'll just try to execute on it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, I lose 1500 whatever. So I executed on it. I took some profits, and then I put stops at break even at 131,250, and then I went to bed, and then I woke up when price was right here, and then I closed. And when I saw the daily candle, daily did go bearish, and I was like, oh, perfect, just like how I visualized. Since these streams, I found myself making decisive decisions with clear price action analysis. Oh, very nice. That's amazing. Would you look to this chart, please? All right. Let's take a look to this chart. See, GU is still ranging because GU is difficult. I'd say GU is much difficult to trade than GJ because GU is affected by both the pound and the dollar, so it's pretty difficult because there are two things influencing it. It's like that one kid, who has to ask his mom to go play out, then his dad, then his uncle and aunt. You're like, oh man, you got a lot of problems. Kindly check if those levels of support are correct. Yeah, it's correct. Looks good. I think this could be a little higher and this could be a little higher, but so far this is the most recent one, and this should be the most recent one, and they're good. I have mine drawn right here. So, you know, if you sold down here, now you have a pullback, it should create some sort of a resistance and then continue driving down. You have other work also, or you depend on trading. Yeah, I have a lot of things going on the side. Like surprisingly, I'm pretty busy. My whole day is like planned. Every day my day is planned out. Uh, Raja, why did you say that GU is difficult? Oh, I just explained it. Did you guys stop trading gold? I don't know what that is. Did you guys stop trading gold? I stopped trading gold. Some of my friends I know, they still trade gold. I'd stopped trading gold because the spreads are too high, and I'm just not liking the way gold moves. You know, when the spreads are high, that means I have to pay more to trade that pair. So that's why I don't focus on when the spreads are high. Wow, GP and ZD is still running up here. I searched you yesterday after you got off live stream, and I listened to both you and Ted for the rest of the day. Oh, thank you. Why you say that? Okay, same questions are coming over and over again. But yeah, let's take a see if we had something happen. Nothing much. We have core retail sales. I mean, retail sales are going to be pretty bad. They'd be like really bad. Look at this. Retail sales expecting -12. Core retail sales -8. It's going to be really bad. Can you please go through the GGSLs that took in Asian today? I think I explained it 3 times. You have to watch the recap, and then you'll know. Because I'm not going to say that, oh, yeah, you know what I mean? You need to do this, you know what I mean? No, I do. We do full analysis. Oh, you're looking for it to go up? I think you'll need for price to create some bullish candles above this area to have confirmation. Because if you have bullish candles above this area, that means your stops can be below those bullish candles. And you want to sell over here. Well, the thing is, right now at SPX 500, what's going on is that price basically created a low, right? It broke support, created a low, and then now it's retracing. If you see bearish candles forming here on the 30-minute or 15-minute, then there's a very high chance it might start continuing down. So that's good. That's an idea for sells, but if you see candles closing bullish, then that's an idea for buys. Wow, look at that. Someone is holding a sell from such a deep drawdown. Oh, there we go. Now GJ is moving here, pumping. GP and ZD also coming down. It should continue moving to 13300. Your entry at 131,300 used the same risk management with your other trades. Yes. Yes, I've successfully broken some barriers this month. I've increased my lot sizes, and I've also held trades for longer. So I've broken some barriers. Hey, can you look at this trade I'm planning to trade? Let's take a look here. Euro NZD. Yeah, looks good. You'll need to see some sort of a bearish candles forming here. Wow, look at that. 13300 is incoming. My entire analysis is about to be correct. So, someone messaged me saying, "Hey, this is so much fun." I'm like, "Yeah, it's like a game." I mean, see now the candle closed. This is where now you're securing profits. You are securing profits at this stage because now we're reaching a very strong support level. So there's a very heavy chance that price may, bounce from here. So this is where you're securing profits. Cool shirt. Yeah, yeah. These are pretty cool shirts. Do you do a buy now? Question mark. I don't think it's going to work. Well, there we go. We've reached 13300. So 13300 was called from yesterday, and if I would have held here, man, it would have been very, very nice. But yeah, I think this was a very, very good move. All right, GBP NZD candle, 15-minute candle closed bearish with no wick at the bottom. I think this is where it should start moving bullish. If this candle closes bullish, there's a very high chance we're going to continue moving up. Like a break and retest almost. Wow, can't believe it. Hit right to the T. What does it say? To the T, mate. Right to the T. After
I can't believe it.
after breaking 13300, a reasonable next support should be 129,200. Let's take a look here. Yeah, 130, 129 through 200. No, I think around 130, 150. 130, 150 should be good there. But I don't know beyond that. My target was 13300. If it falls below that, then it's gonna come down over here. So it's good. Do you believe that once it reaches 13200, will it go bullish? I have no idea. We'll have to wait and see. I have no idea. When price is falling, I'm looking to see where can price fall to and how can I enter the trade and let price fall to that level and ride that move down. When price is falling, I don't look for buys. I don't look to see, oh, price is falling, where can I take a buy? When price is falling, I say, where can I take a sell? So I think we broke this down from right over here. as prices continue down. If you look on the 15 minute, 15 minutes just made lower lows, lower highs, and just continued down. And as you see, US 30 as well, US 30 is moving very nicely. I learned a lot yesterday. Like Ted's been talking about US 30 for 2-3 days, and I've been rewatching those parts on the highlights. And it made sense. This morning I came on, I looked at the pre-markets, they were down. I looked at US 30, was at a resistance, it was breaking the support, price action made sense. And I was like, perfect guys, this is gonna, this whole, it's gonna come down over here, this part over here, and just came down. Pretty good.
It's US 30 moves just like the S&P.
Morning, just finished the meeting. Did you take a trade yet? Yeah, I think people were in GJ cells. How do you gauge when a range is valid? It's like let's take a look at this range, right? If a support is formed over here, let's remove this. And then you're like, okay, well, this is a 40 pip range. So if a support is formed in this 40 pip range, I think now it's very easy to say that, okay, in this 40 pip range, I can at least get like 15 to 20 pips out of this 40 pip range. Provided, let's say you enter somewhere over here and your stop is down here and you're aiming for up over there, so that's a valid range. If this range was, let's say, 20 pips, then it won't be a valid range. How come you didn't make a trade on GJ this past hour? Because I had runners from last night. That's why. Oh, Ted's trying to talk. All right, let's unmute. Unmute Ted.
Okay. Yeah, so it looks like US 30 is probably going to break down again like it did yesterday. You have core retail sales coming in, which are going to be bad. The anticipation will be similar to what we had yesterday, but if you did notice, we had a massive correction in the afternoon. So that's where obviously you manage your trade and you should be good.
Yeah, someone asked if a sell stop at 132.40 makes sense, and I would say it has already fallen a lot, so that'd be like pretty risky. I'd say it'd be pretty risky. But the way it's moving, I mean, it could work out. This is where, like, some things which have a very low probability of working out, they work out. But they don't work out all the time. So having a sell stop is 240 is like, if price comes down to 132.40 right now, then you're trying to sell it for it to continue moving down. So that gets a little risky. All right, now you guys can unmute and mute yourselves.
Thank you, coach.
No more attendees. We're all equal today. Oh, nice, man. This is very nice. Any help? Oh, what happened? Oh, you sold over here when the candle had no wick to the bottom, Daniel. The candle had no wick at the bottom. So when candles close with no wicks at the bottom, this means price is gonna, there's a 50-50 chance it's gonna, like, go up or down because there's no range. No wick means no range for the next candle. So now you have to see how you could have taken a better entry. I think a better entry would have been right here when we were talking about the 30 minutes. What's this? GJ. Oh, nice.
Take a look at GJ right now on the 15 minutes is making the same move as did US 30 yesterday. 15-minute candle, grab liquidity and downtown. Grab
Downtown.
liquidity, downtown. So basically, at this point, my stop loss, the position that I have running, my stop loss is 130, 130.85. So it may retrace a little bit more, and when we hit that support, 130.15, 130.17, and then continue going down with New York Open.
Yeah. Man, this is nuts.
Yeah, I was hoping you still had the runner, because that position, man, you can hold that position basically for the rest of the day. It's not
Ye-
going back there.
Yeah, yeah. When it came down, I was like, man, I mean, I'm up so much, and then I was like, nah, just take it. So I took it.
Because a long time ago I asked that if I was greedy, if I have my position, you have a good spot and you grab a nice position. I asked that, do you think this is being greedy? And he told me, no. If you have your stop loss in profits, it's not being greedy. So basically, when I have those entries, like kind of sniper entries, I used to hold those positions for a while.
Yeah, I think a good target for US 30 or DGI will probably be around right now. I would say at least 23,300. I think that's a very good target right now for us to go. So with the momentum that we have, we should be able to fill this area here. The problem will be here, which I assume the next half hour will probably bounce around a bit. So you'll have to manage your trade accordingly, but retail sales should push it down. If we take a look closer, we have this candle here. I mean, I'd like to base my idea off that candle breaking all the way down and ignoring this, but I think we have to still make some sort of idea. Like we still have to think of this as an idea as well. But I do believe the initial target, we should be able to fill this right now. So this initial wick here, and you might have a rejection up. Then what you're looking at is essentially next hour potentially coming back into this area again, and retail sales then driving it down even further. And I would say probably a good spot would be right around over here. So if you can manage the trade, you should have a nice easy move all the way through. With momentum, a lot of people get confused and they'll say, well, what about this area here? With momentum, we should break down through that area. That's in normal circumstances, but I would just be very cautious because we are coming in there. If we do break down in that area, then what I would be doing is I would be taking away this area altogether, and I would be focusing straight on this move right here, this candle right here, to sit right like that, if we do have a nice clean move. So it's as you watch, if you look at the hour charts, if Rakeel zooms out just a bit, if you want to zoom out just a bit, Rakeel, on this hour chart, you have big moves. So if we look, we had a big move here, and then a big move here. So ideally, we're encapsulating that move, we should encapsulate that move, and then we should encapsulate that move, right? That's how it'll happen. Now, how the candles will form is a different story, but if you are visualizing what is happening in the charts, and if we have the momentum and we say, okay, well, if retail sales are bad, we already know they're expecting retail sales to be bad, right? So we know that the move could possibly be priced in. The thing that will come about will be, okay, what does the rest of the market, like how does the market react? Like how do retail investors react, or how do they start moving their money in the equity market after retail sales? Because now what's going to happen is you're going to have the initial shock to the market that retail sales were bad. And now thinking like your opponent, now let's put your mind as an opponent. If I believe retail sales are going to be bad, right? What are the possibilities with retail sales? What can we have? Obviously, people are saying Feds are pumping retail. That's fine. Okay, so that's one argument about this. Think about your opponent. Think of every possible scenario that your opponent's going to give you. This is how you have to train your mind for multiple scenarios. What do we think that our opponent is going to think of future retail sales? That is the question you have to ask yourself when you're going to take this trade based on retail sales news. It's not the news that's coming right now. We already know that the news is going to be bad. The market is bracing itself for bad information. Now, as a retail investor or as an institutional investor, these are your opponents in the equity market. If I know retail sales are bad this quarter or this month coming up, nothing's improved from last month. So right now, this is retail sales for April. We know that nothing's improving right now in May. What am I thinking as an investor? That retail sales will be bad again next month. So do I really want to be holding my equity positions in retail sales if we have the worst retail sales for the month of April? I'm anticipating, because nothing's changed in the current economy, that retail sales will be bad again for May. That's why I'm going to liquidate everything that I have right now, because I'm anticipating the market to drop even more as we go through the rest of May. And then we start looking at retail sales in June for the month of May. That is how you need to think about your opponent. That's the level of thinking you have to think of. Don't think of the obvious. The obvious is retail sales are down, the Fed's going to give them money, blah, 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 blah. The question becomes, what is my opponent thinking of this month's retail information? And if my opponent thinks that May is going to be bad as well, then we already know that they're going to start leaving in droves, because if April was bad, May's just going to be as bad. So why am I holding on to that equity position when I know May is going to be just as bad as April was? That is what you're supposed to be thinking of when you're thinking of your opponent, right? Similar to if you're playing a game of chess, if you're playing a game of poker, any type of strategy game, you have to understand your opponent is going to make the move right in front of you. You already know that, but you have to understand, well, why is my opponent making that move? What is the consequences of that move in the future? And that is where you need to start putting yourself in a position to say, okay, how do I take advantage of this for future positions? If I already know retail sales are bad today, we already know that it's getting priced in. You can see the Dow's dropping huge. What can I anticipate that's going to happen next month with retail sales that's going to allow the Dow to push further? Because we know retail sales right now in May are happening, right? You go out to a store right now, that's a retail sale. But how much is happening right now? So how do we price ourselves in to get that future move at that point? Okay? So really, really think about that, and that will help you determine where I should be in the market. But more importantly, you won't be surprised when actual market moves happen, because you'll have understood all the possible scenarios at that point.
Wow, man, GJ is still running here. Damn. Almost caught a marlin today on GJ.
Wow, look at that go.
Yeah, man. It's
Yeah.
gonna continue. Look how it's
Ooh,
pushing. I was.
Jesus.
Wow, man. It's a blessing.
Well, whoever caught these sells on GJ, just give a like on the stream because, man, this is just great.
I closed that support, but that was a nice move.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. That was my target, but the way it's moving, we may tap 130 flat or even more low, even lower. You know.
Oh yeah, you're gonna catch even lower.
Wow.
I think GJ.
See,
GJ now, you have an opportunity to go all the way to. I would say probably 129,200.
Oh wow.
even
Yeah.
lower.
Yeah, look at the
No.
look
No,
at the
I'm just-
weekly candle. Look at the weekly candle,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right there.
Yesterday I saw the weekly candle, but my analysis was telling me maybe 130, 200, 130 close the weekly, but man, this is scary. Yeah.
Yeah. See the this daily got filled from
Yeah.
yesterday. This is what I visual. It's so amazing when you visualize things and then they happen.
Yeah. Yeah, basically every Thursday I start looking at the weekly candle, so I print that candle to myself, you know, to see what I'm looking for that weekly to close. Was played really nice. 130 flat, I'd be happy.
Yeah, that's what I'm expecting because the daily it rejected here on 25th March.
Yeah.
Ted has goat targets.
Yeah.
Yeah, what? Look left, yeah, there was a big rejection here, huge rejection here. This was in the New York Open too. Oh, I remember this one. I remember this one. I remember this price came all the way down and just went up like it pulled up its pants. So nice. What do you think about the divergence between fundamental and information on USD and the S&P 500? Should we disregard S&P all the way and look for another chart that correlates with the real US economy? I have no idea how that divergence is going to play out. GN is also coming down. What a mess.
The hourly candle looked massive.
When the market trends very strongly, do you alter your take profit strategy from target to trailing stops? Yeah, basically when it's moving aggressively, you're just putting stops at break even and that's it. I mean, it's up to you. You want to put trailing stops or put stops at break even, or if you want to secure. That's something you learn over time. Like I used to miss big moves all the time, but now I'm just catching it, catching the big moves. Getting more confident in letting positions run from overnight.
Very nice, very nice.
If GJ closes below last lowest swing low on the 30-minute, is it a safe sell? I don't even know about sells anymore. I mean, it's fallen so much. Safe sells were up over here when we were discussing safe sells right over here. This is what I was and the stop was above 13800. Then I talked about stop loss having at like 13700, letting it run. It ran, continued down, and this is great.
I think Raja, you talked about this earlier. Is people need to go back and look at where they could have taken this entry, like yesterday almost, or earlier this morning. Coming in at 8 a.m. to try and take this entry now, playing with fire.
Yeah.
Like if the stream starts at 6:30, you have 2 hours. You have basically you have an hour and a half right there where you could have taken entries. I mean, your entry could have been easily right over here. I mean, this is the last 30 minutes. Like, you know, this was at 7 a.m. That's easy. Come right down to this level here. Like, why are we looking for trades now over here? This doesn't make any sense to me. The trade was here at 7 a.m. The stream started over here. That's pretty straightforward in my opinion. And if you're not waking up to see that at 6:30 in the morning, if you're not up, you don't deserve to win a trade. That's what it comes down to. If you don't show up to work on time, don't expect to get paid. It's just, that's what it is. If you're looking at trying to be successful as a trader and you can't show up when you need to show up, or you sleep in, or you don't do this, then you can't expect to get the profits that you think you should be getting. That's the bottom line. If you wake up late, you miss the move. Too bad. Wait another day. It'll teach you a lesson. It'll teach you the realization that you have to show up and you have to be alert, and you have to make that conscious decision. No one says that you have to show up here every day to a stream. Nobody says you have to show up every day to a chart. But if you don't show up when you know you're supposed to, don't expect to catch the trades or the profits that you think you're supposed to get. Because in the end, you've done yourself a disservice by not showing up when you need to show up. There's times where I sleep in because I don't want to trade. I don't care what happens in the market. I missed the move. I didn't take a GJ trade. I missed it. I caught a US 30 trade. That's what I took. I woke up to make sure I could get that trade. If you're coming in late, you're trying to find something now, you're trying to do something, it doesn't make sense. You showed up late to work and you're still expecting to reap the rewards of people who showed up early. You can't do that in life. You have to be disciplined. Everything in your life for trading has to be on a disciplinary approach. You think it's a joke, you gotta show up. You have to do everything, has to be as rigid as possibly can. 6:30, you're up. Whatever time it is in another time zone, you're there. You have to be disciplined. You have to treat this like your lifestyle. This is the military. You want to catch everything. You want to make the money. You want to do what you think you want to do with trading. You have to be disciplined. That means, well, I'm not smoking up when I trade. I'm alert when I trade. I'm eating properly when I trade. I have the same workstation when I trade. I follow the same routine when I trade. You have to become a robot. When you become a robot, when it comes trading, your body starts getting into that mental state of, this is what I have to do every single day. I wake up between 6:30 and 9 o'clock or 8:30 or whenever I'm doing my trades. This is my zone. This is where I'm most focused, I'm most alert, and I'm ready to go. The rest of the day, don't care. I drive my car, I can close my eyes. I don't care about that. I'll let my car protect me. But here, the only thing that protects you in the market is you. You're the one clicking the buy, you're the one clicking the sell, you're the one setting your stop loss. Everything that trading is right now, you rely on. If you're in a car driving, someone hits you, your car will protect you. It's got airbags. You're on a bus, the bus crashes, well, you'll get paid from the bus driver. Everything else around your life, other influences can hit you, and other factors can change your outlook. With trading, you are in charge of everything. You're in charge if you want to trade today, you don't want to trade today. You're in charge of when you want to wake up. You're in charge of when you want to do things. Trading is ultimate your decision. So you have to show up every single time, because otherwise it's just, you waste opportunity, and then you complain, well, I want to make money. It's like, well, you got to show up.
Quickest way for that is finding discipline in your personal life.
Yeah, there's a direct correlation. I mean, if people are actually honest,
100%.
I think half the people that are in the YouTube chat, they probably don't. They're not disciplined enough to do other things, and it's gonna anger them, but it's the truth. If it's like when I do a live webinar, like like I did a live free education seminar for everybody. You know how many people showed up late? They showed up late. It's free. You show up late. I didn't say anything, but I could correlate the people that showed up late or forgot what they had to bring because I asked for everyone to bring a food donation. I correlated that with people's success, lack of attention to detail. It's okay. I mean, you're not going to be super successful. You may be successful with those character traits, but you're not going to be in the top 1%. But that's okay.
Exactly.
You don't have to be in the top 1%. You can be just average. If you're okay with average, I'm okay with average. But if you're trying to be above average, you're trying to get to where you need to be, and you think you deserve that stuff, all those little things add up. How you wash your dishes, how you wake up in the morning, how you bathe, when do you sleep, what do you do, your routines, that all adds up.
So someone sent this chart. Was this a good entry after this kind of broke below the low? Yes, because it consolidated. This broke the low, made a lower high and a lower low. So the probability of the next candle to make a lower high and a lower low becomes much higher. So it's good. Do you think that it will come up to get liquidity to then push down, or does US 30 just move? That would be the idea, for it to come up, do like a retest, and then continue down. But yesterday, it just kept dropping. It did make these pullbacks yesterday, but over like right over here, you had a pullback, and then price just dropped later on in the session. So I mean, it's very hard to say if it's going to keep dropping or it's going to make a little pullback before the news. 5 minute, I don't really look at 5 minute charts. That's why I said it makes sense. Because if it makes sense to you, then it makes sense. I don't look at 5 minute charts. I don't trust 5 minute charts. I look at the 30 minute and 15 minute. But yeah, it looks good. Seems like it looks good. You knew what you were doing. I mean, if you took the trade. I think instead of looking at 5 minute, you should really start looking at the 15 and the 30, because on the 5 minute time frames, when you start to look for confirmations and trades, you're going to be very disappointed. The confirmations are very weak. The trades don't play out like you expect them to. The candles don't close the way you expect them to. You're just going to overall confuse yourself by overthinking and anxiety and analysis paralysis. It's going to be really bad. And that's coming from me, who I have spent a lot of time looking at time frames. And I mean, what worked for me was like 30 minute and 15 minute, because logically the higher time frames have better confirmations. So logically it's much more important to wait for the high time frames to give you those confirmations so that you can execute the trade. But if you're executing on the 5 minute, the confirmations are going to be very weak. So weak confirmations mean weak trades, which also means less winning trades. Because think about this. If you're looking at the 5 minute, 5 minute is going to give you a lot of opportunities to trade. Just like when you buy bulk from China, the quality is not going to be there, but the quantity is going to be there. But if you look at the higher time frame analysis, your trades are going to be less. You will have less amount of trades, but the quality is going to be much more higher. So, like, if you want to experiment with the 5 minute for a couple of months, I can assure you the result is going to be, yeah, the high time frames work much better. But everyone's different, right? Who knows? It might work out. take a look at this chart. GJ 15 minute, waiting for this retracement so we can go short. What do you think? Yeah, I think it's good. You're waiting for a retracement. I mean, a retracement would make sense for price to come up, create some sort of a resistance, and then continue moving down. I've been noticing GJ doesn't give a retest as long as you go to the 5 minute. Oh, yes, 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 yes. That makes sense then. Yeah, yeah, I know exactly what you mean, and you're right. That makes sense. Looking for those small little hints. Makes sense.
Just closed my GJ trade. I'm expecting New York to make a sort of pullback, like you said, and create some sort of resistance, and then continue down later on. But I'm not gonna hold any more of this position.
David Frost was a television host. What about David Frost?
He's also the UK's negotiator for Brexit.
With a television host?
No, no.
He's dead. Wait. Where are you guys getting this information from? David Frost. Yeah, this is what I get. He's dead. He died in August 2013.
Yeah, there's another one that comes up. It's a British civil servant.
Oh, okay. This guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Very little progress made towards Brexit.
Yes, I think this is what's giving a lot of pound and euro as well weakness at the moment, because they've just both come out and said that we're making no progress at the moment, and they're both blaming each other.
Wow. The corona isn't over yet, and now they're talking about Brexit again. Like, man, they have no chill.
I think they have to, because the UK is being quite stubborn. So right now the transition period ends at the end of the year, and the EU want to extend that to take into account coronavirus, and so we don't have to deal with negotiating right now. But the UK is being quite stubborn and saying no. So I think they have to negotiate something.
So they're like, we have to get it done ASAP.
Exactly. So December is when. So right now we're still trading on EU terms with all the EU countries, but that transition period only lasts until December, and so at the end of December, if we don't negotiate anything, we go into World Trade Organization terms, which is just a lot worse for us.
Oh, that's exciting. Some pretty big movements we're going to see then. Do you watch Samuel Leach reality? Yeah, yeah, he has some really, like, those reality series are pretty interesting. Like, I'm not a big fan of Samuel Leach, but those episodes are hilarious. He has a new season out. It's pretty funny. It basically tells you the mindset of a new trader. You know, they bring in new traders and they like talk all this and that, and then they start trading live accounts and they're just perplexed. You know, it's it's hilarious. Maybe we're gonna get Samuel Leach here on the live stream one day. Who knows? We'll try. I saw Monty smirk and shake his head. What now? Nothing now. Nothing. I mean, US30 approached the support. We have news coming in. GPNZD is just retarded. I mean, it's just not. It's nuts. GPNZD. Let's take a look at what happened to GU. Did GU break? Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna get stopped out of my US30 trade in a second. It's pulling back too hard.
Yeah.
I wanted to keep it through retail sales, but oh well.
I asked you that question on Monday. Oh, okay, nice. Of the video. Do you know ICT and BTM methods of trading? Nope. Uh, does microdosing LSD helps in Forex? It's going to help you in getting retarded, but not in Forex. I'm practicing with very small account size. I think the person who said that, you took a buy at 130, 120, and then probably got stopped out. I think it's very, when price is falling down, I'm going to say it again, don't take buys. Wait for price to form some sort of bullish candles or confirmations and then take buys. I used to do the same thing too. Like I would, price would come down, I start taking buys, and whichever position would stick, I'll be like, oh yeah, look guys, got a wick entry. But it's not always the case. You don't always get wick entries. So you need to look for logical areas to take trades, like resistances, minor supports, minor zones.
FOMO is really bad, to be honest.
Yeah. Hey,
That's the worst you can do, trying to catch those moves.
did you get a new mic or something?
Yes, I did. The other one was messed up. Why?
Do you
Sounds
have,
better?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you have the same mic as us now, or is it a different mic?
Well, that's no, it's not wireless. It's a wired mic. Yeah, my headphones right now is a HyperX, iCloud. It's called iCloud something. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, the Cloud Alpha S. Yeah, it's pretty good. It has the 7.1 the surround sound, so basically it sounds really good when you listen to music. It's really good.
GU felt really nice. See, this is where the Chinese indicator worked. The pound was weak and the yen was strong, so we saw price action also said sells. So that's why we saw this nice little move down. It's perfect. Raja, planning to take any trades today? No, I am done for the day. I am done for the day. I actually met a goal today. I told my friends yesterday I'm gonna reach a certain level, and I reached that today. So that was pretty cool. Why don't I see anything on Forex Factory about JPY? Because JPY is closed at this time. Why would they have anything here? JPY is only in Asian session. If you look here in the Asian session, you'll have JPY. See right here, you have JPY, and then you have JPY over here, Asian session. And you have Chinese news. As we see on the strength meter is strong. Oh, that's just a bias. It's just this doesn't work. I mean, don't trade based off of this. This is just, I like to troll people just by showing this. Yeah. What's this? When you took a sell in Asian, what made you sure that price wouldn't bounce up from this level? What was your high time frame analysis? Gurav, I think if you're in Slack, I sent my complete Asian breakdown there in the Asian session, and then also sent a voice note on the Asian session. When I took my sell right over here, I was willing to risk up over here. I was like, okay, if my high time frame plays out, this will be a better opportunity to take a sell. And if I get stopped out, I'm going to lose what I plan to lose. But if this starts to go down, it's going to be a big payday. And it turned out to be a very big payday. Yeah, I also broke it down earlier too in the stream, so I think it's going to be best to rewatch the recap. Every day I
Yes.
spend like, yeah, go ahead.
No, that was a nice reaction on GJ at 130 flat.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I spend like an hour every day just by watching the live streams. What was your milestone you hit today? Well, like 10,000 on that trade. That's pretty good. Like I told my
Good.
friends yesterday that if this plays out, this will be a $10,000 trade.
You did call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did call it, Mr. Raja. You did call it. We've been hunting that all week, actually. It's
Yeah.
funny because we had that. Like, I think there was like 2 opportunities, like to trade that. That fake out candle. It's funny when you look on the daily on GJ. That fake out candle. This one right here. We talked about that yesterday with US 30. Remember on the 15-minute?
Yep.
We were like, this massive rejection here. This doesn't make any sense to go back up, so it should continue back down. The exact same thing happened just on the daily.
Kind of booby trap candle
Yeah,
was-
this is
on the
basically
daily.
booby trap. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the key, this wick here, never broke above this. As soon as it stopped here,
But yeah, boom, boom, boom down.
pew pew pew. Call it chapa. Yeah, I'm starting to recognize those more on the higher time frames, those bigger moves. So I think in the next few months I'm going to be hitting massive trades because now I'm getting really comfortable with how those charts are forming up just based on seeing it on the smaller time frame repeatedly and executing those ideas on the smaller time frame repeatedly.
Yeah, the only problem I'm having so far is to just seeing how big this retracement should be.
Yes.
That's it. This big retracement. Oh, what's this chart? This is... Ooh, minor resistance, 1 hour close, entered, and when 1 hour closed, support, stop loss in the 15-minute, close half, 16 pips, close all, 32 pips. Ooh, nice. That's beautiful. I think the whole beauty of sending analysis is like when everyone knows the analysis is sent and then it plays out. Like it's nothing, oh look, this is from the shadows, look at this trade I was holding.
Yeah, I always find it funny that people are afraid to make mistakes. I mean, I've done analysis here. I've been stopped out. I got stopped out again here on US 30. I mean, it's part of the game. I don't think anyone should ever be afraid of showing information. As you get better as a trader, you know, your information will become more quality. That's all. So, you know, we know what's happening right now. So, you know, once again, we talk about this. We have the new hour forming on US 30. So we're getting a massive retracement. The massive retracement's coming now for retail sales. So we know that's happening. So this 15-minute candle is a fake out candle. Like we know that. So how do you know this, Ted? We're not supposed to be able to understand fake out candles. Well, I'm not 100% accurate in this is a fake out, but using my spidey sense and realizing that retail sales are going to be bad, why would institutions want entries at 23,350 when they can have entries at 23,500, 23,550 and drive the market right down? You as a retail trader say, hey, I'm going to take entries at 23,350 because when this 15-minute candle flips or we get momentum on the higher time frames, we're going to drive right through that support. Like these are simple concepts that you just have to be able to tell a story, and you just have to say, hey, at this point, there's no trade, but this is what I'm anticipating. If I'm wrong, I don't lose anything, but if I'm right, I gain and I don't have to sweat about anything. Like right now, people probably tried to take sells on US 30 and now they're getting rocked because it's moving up so hard and so fast. And they're saying, well, that doesn't make any sense because the last hour was bearish. We should have continued down. And it's like, no, we shouldn't have continued down, because if you had known, if you had put the story together, you'd realize that we're not going to go down until the news happens, which is in 10 minutes. So maybe at that point, we're going to see a drop, right? So you just have to be patient and you have to see how it plays out. If there's no drop, then really, is there a trade? Probably not, because what were we anticipating? We were anticipating further drops down with retail sales down to, 23,200, 23,000 even. If it doesn't happen, your idea is invalid. That doesn't mean you start now going hunting buys. No, it just means that the idea you had didn't play out. Close your charts down, go enjoy the rest of the week or weekend for that point. And this is basically what you're doing every single day of your life. When you're a trader, you're giving yourself options. Sometimes your option comes in, sometimes your option doesn't come in. And as you get better as a trader, your option will show up more and more every day, and you will start to trade more and more every day. It's just part of life, part of experience.
Yes. Also, if any of the people right now on YouTube remember yesterday we talked about this exact same move on US 30 around 8 a.m. Yesterday. We closed that trade. We had sells and we closed because we don't want to have the pullback from 8 a.m. Yesterday played out that the pullback wasn't that heavy and continued dropping for the rest of the session until 10 a.m. I think. But basically when you get the entry, you're not expecting to hold that trade over 8 a.m. pullbacks or 9:30, basically. So the worst thing you can do is to try to take sells around 750 on US 30. You're gonna have, when it's falling, you're gonna have, most of the times you're gonna have a pullback at 8 a.m.
If GJ continues down, where could it go? I think it could come down to, we have a big rejection here to the left-hand side at 129,900. 129,900, 840. See this wick here all the way to the left? This is where it could come down to here. What's this? No stream on Monday due to Canadian holiday. We'll see what we can do. Probably going to be no stream on Monday. Entering after the movement happened because you did not execute it high, you should have waited. Yes. I think whenever you miss a trade, it's always to look back and see how you could have taken the trade. I mean, if I got $1 for every time I said that, I would have hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Every time whenever someone sends me a loss, I always ask them, how could you have taken the opposite trade? And when someone misses the move and they complain about it, I'm like, just look at it and how could you have taken that trade? How could you have done this? How? Why? How and why? How and why, man? These things are going to really solve issues. US 30, 15 minute, you're expecting it to continue going up, bounce on this imaginary trend line you have. Yeah, looks good. Looks good. But there's news in 5 minutes. Let's see what happens here. How can we check currency strength? You can't. You just look at where price action is, you draw your value. So when price was above 580, I was talking about it over and over and over again that once we close below this area, we're going to continue down to 13300, and we came down to 13300, and then beyond. Wow, it's crazy. What do you think about Samuel Leach? I don't think nothing about anybody. I have no reason to think about people. So I'm trying. I'll try to get him on the live streams here as a guest and talk about his. Basically, to talk about the new trader psychology, because like I think he's at the forefront of new traders because of his, these reality series they have. They're very funny. They're extremely hilarious. If someone's an experienced trader here and you want to have a good laugh, just watch those. The new people come in and they ask this one guy. They ask him, "So, what's your kind of trading plan with the news?" He's like, "Well, I'm gonna watch all the news and I'll try to trade from the 1 minute charts." And they're looking at it, they start laughing. They're like, "What?" They are so funny. What do you think of Trade with Monty? I think Monty is pretty good with his spaceship headsets. He has 2 pairs of those. Pretty good. This one guy to say, "Well, it seems like you have a good strategy. Why are you here then?" It's called that's what it's called. You see here. What I do is I just search Samuel Leach. I search Samuel Leach. Yeah, Samuel Leach exposed. He was running a. I'm not going to talk about that, but what we're going to take. It's where is it? Damn, where did those episodes go? I think it's on his channel. Oh, he's verified on YouTube? Damn. I guess it's because of those reality shows he does. They verified him on YouTube.
We're gonna be chatting.
Some things he has done I don't agree with. They had a pumping and dumping of crypto back in the day, but yeah, this is right here. These episodes, they're hilarious. New trader episodes. Do you remember the guy who couldn't solve 14 by 12 and said that he has a genius? Yeah. Yeah. He couldn't answer what 14 times 12. They're pretty easy. I've lost about 60K in the last 11 months trading. What kept you motivated to keep trading and getting better after you lost so much while learning? Well, the only thing was when I was losing a lot, I only had myself to blame, and I knew exactly why I was losing. I was losing because I was over risking. I was losing because I was over trading. That's it. Those are the only 2 things I was doing while I was losing, and that happens to everybody. Like if someone has lost, like let's say more than 10,000 or 20,000, it's only because you are over trading and you are over risking. Because let's say you load up a $5,000 account, right? You load up a $5,000 account in your bank, you have 40,000, 30,000, whatever, and now you're like, okay, with this $5,000 account, I'm gonna start risking more. If I lose a trade, I'm gonna start risking more. You lose that in a week, and you're like, okay, shit. Now I'm gonna deposit another 5,000. You deposit another one. You lose that. You deposit more and more and more, just because you're over risking. You're using bigger lot sizes, bigger risks. You're using someone who doesn't have that money. They might start off with, let's say, $500. Just because they have two 2,000, 3,000 in the bank account. They start with $500 and they lose it. So the only two reasons why I personally was losing because of over trading and over risking, and that's about it. That's it. Once I really started to stop over trading, things start to make much more sense. Because when you stop over trading, then you start looking at the market from a very holistical point of view, which means like you start to look at it from a very rational perspective. The news is about to come in over here, so we're going to switch to US 30, and we're going to continue this discussion in like 30 seconds here. But look at the news. I just started watching Wix Not Lie, so not sure about anything really. Oh, you're new to Forex? Perfect. Yeah, so if we have a sell stop there and target there, yeah, it didn't work. So yeah, I mean, the point where I stopped over trading and over risking, things just start to make much more sense. The climb was slow, trust me. The climb was very slow, but the most important part was I had to build confidence in my abilities, and that confidence happens day by day, like one day at a time. Because the thing is, we're more prone to look at Instagram, go on Instagram, look at what people are doing, what they're making, if that's true or not, or like how is that happening. We don't know that. We don't know what goes behind the scenes, but what we do know is what happens behind the scenes in our own life. That's what we do know. So when things are hidden, you don't know the entire picture. So when you look at yourself, you're like, okay, maybe, I need to go slow. I need to really get confident in things. So the one thing that really helped me was that I know how to trade. I'm not a bad trader. Everyone here who's listening and you've lost a lot of money, you all are good traders. The only problem is you overtrade and you over risk. That's it. Like you try to sell the highs, you try to buy the lows to get reversals. I mean, there's no other way you should be losing. If you eliminate those three things from your trading, they're really hard. The hardest thing to eliminate is over trading. The hardest thing to eliminate, because someone can say, no mate, I see this setup at this time here after my trading time, and I should just take this setup, right? And I'm like, no, you shouldn't. You should only take the setup when it's time for you to trade. And then they're like, no, but I'm leaving money on the table. It's okay to leave money on the table. I left so much money on the table here. I closed right here, closed round over here, and I left all this on the table. So it's just you just need to be really patient with yourself. English people do not overtrade. Oh man, they get mad. Trust me. Is over risking connected to a trader's skill level? No, not at all. Over risking is not connected to a skill level. It's just a psychological thing. Because like Charlene, you have really good analysis. I've seen your charts. You label charts well. You have good analysis. Your bias is correct. It's just over risking. Anyone who's hearing me right now, I can 100% guarantee your biggest losses you have taken have come from over risking and moving your stops. That is it. That's the only reason you've taken bigger losses. There's no cap. No cap on my head, and there's no cap on that statement. For someone who's really old, they don't know what no cap means. It means no lie. It means
that's what it means. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I always see people using no cap, and I'm like, what is it? Like you're not wearing a cap? Like,
yeah, that's what I thought too.
You can't put on top? Like you can't cover something? I don't know. All right, whatever.
I had to ask Mac, hey man, what does this mean, no cap? He's like, it means no lie. And I'm like, what does a cap have to do with it?
Exactly. I used to be with it, then it changed. Now what it is very scary, and it'll happen to you one day. That's where I am in my life.
See what happened. Oof, gold went to 1740. Yeah, gold's gonna fill this up over here, 1748. Had this buying analysis from last night has broken up. Should continue to 1746, 48. So, you know, just stop moving stops, man. Stop moving your fucking stop losses and stop over risking and just give it time. And stop looking at people on Instagram saying that, oh, he has or she has all these things. How can I get those things? Just focus on you. Focus on, you know, like people who have journeys you can relate to, you know, because not everyone is going to be the same. I'm a new trader. I've opened a live account of 5,000. How much do you think an ideal risk lot is, and how many trades should I do every day? See, now that's a perfect example of not understanding risk. You know, when you have a $5,000 account, you're basically making a rule that, okay, I have 5,000 at my disposal. How much am I willing to risk every day? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Are you okay to lose 500 every day? Then you'll have 10 days. Are you okay to lose 200 every day? Are you okay to lose $50 every day? You know, you have to think in that perspective. How much are you okay to lose every day? To me, I'm okay to lose maybe like 1,000 a day now. You know, it's okay because, you know, mostly I'm winning. So if I can take one trade, risk 1,000 a day, I know overall, like if I take 10 trades, overall 7 of them are going to be profitable trades. If I only focus on 1 or 2 trades a day, if I don't move stops, if I don't over risk or over leverage. What account size do you need to trade gold? You can trade gold with any account size. When I take 2 losses, I took 2 losses 2 days ago. I mean, I took 2 losses on a live stream 2 days ago. And after those two losses, I just relaxed. I chilled. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to take any more trades. I could have, because after those 2 losses, we saw a lot of trades play out, and I could have taken those trades, but I didn't, because I have to follow my rules. My rules are there to make me profitable over time, and if I break my rules, I will not be a profitable trader. So I took 2 losses. I stepped away. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to come back the next day. Came back the next day, made a little money, and came back this morning and just smashed it. You know, you have to follow your rules. Someone here knowing an MT4 tool to copy lines and objects. No, you can't.
I'm not even answering that question. Do you think that Ripple is solving a trillion problem as promoted there in YouTube? Sorry for the question, which has no relation to the stream. Well, no offense taken, but I'm not answering the question because it has no relation to the stream.
Simon here from EST Mon weeks and months has brought a great amount of volatility into markets, and that is
that you cannot ever lose more than this fee because all of the losses are covered by us.
FTO made a video after my rant. Oh man, this is hilarious.
They won't come on and explain, but they'll make a video.
Like, it's just one narrative, man. This is such a joke. I mean, that's hilarious. Any place that helps you log your wins and losses. Yeah, your Excel sheet, piece of paper, or you can use this website over here, trixie.trade. This is what you can use. You can journal your trades here too. Isn't your boy Protein Paul an FTMO affiliate? Yeah. Like a lot of people are. I mean, being an affiliate is not a bad thing. I mean, you make like what, $8, $9 from every person who signs up from there. So that's all about being an affiliate is. Like we have Magic Keys affiliates. Magic Keys pays around $20 per sale. to its affiliates compared to, some people are making 1,500 a month by selling magic keys. And then you can use that and buy the FTO challenge. All right. Hey, Raja, look at this chart. All right, let's take a look at this chart. Oh. Yeah, this is gonna go up gold here. What's your best facts on cryptocurrency?
It's digital. I know that that's a fact.
The Dickens
That's my
movement.
best fact.
That's my fact.
Yeah.
The Dickening.
Why do Protein, Paul, and Jeevan hate each other? I don't know.
I think you should
Aren't they
ask them.
allowed to? Yeah. I love how people want to always talk about drama.
It's fun
When
and it's gossip.
Yeah. It's like they're not part of it, but they want to know other people's opinions on other people. There's money to be made here. I think if someone opened up a subscription service, charged $1 per day to give you the summary of yesterday's Instagram reactions or interactions or problems, they would make maybe $1,000 or $2,000 a month. Because I guarantee you, at least 2,000 or 3,000 people would pay $1 a month to get a daily newsletter about what's going on in the world of FX and the gossip.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that's a great business model. You sit there, scour the internet every day, sit on social media, figure out who the top people are that you want to follow or influencers, and just summarize what they did yesterday. Well, Uncle Ted ranted. It was a waste of time. But then people wouldn't have to go on Instagram. They would just basically read your newsletter the next morning. It would be like a morning paper. Like, I don't know what happened yesterday. What happened? Oh, Wicks Don't Lie was working out. His arms are too big. Blah, blah, blah. Honestly, put it up for $1 a day, or sorry, $1 a month on PayPal. Create a website that sends out a newsletter for $1 a month. I guarantee you will make $1,000 to $2,000 a month. No word of a lie. You would make at least $2,000 a month just summarizing people's posts. Charge $1 a day. That's it. $1 a day. People will pay $1 instantly. You think I'm joking? I'm not.
Yeah, it's like that Onion magazine.
Yep.
No one likes the news they post, but they still read them.
Yep. And all you have to do is just put it all in one spot so people can just click on the newsletter and read everything all at once. I don't want to have to search for that information. I'll pay $1 a month for someone to search it for me. Trust me, you make so much money, you'd be laughing. You'd be like, wow, I'm making $1,000 a month from 1,000 people because of the fact that, they just want to read something. Man, business idea 101. How much risk if you open a $100 account? I don't know. What are you comfortable risking?
If price fails to break above 135.50, can we see another short trade? I think personally my mind is shut off from looking at trades. My mind has closed down. So I don't know, the move was bearish. This was the move bearish. Now I guess you'll have a lot of waiting to do. You'll have to wait for this low to break for price to go down. I took the gold trade at what could be the best target. I think the best target would be 1746. I'm off to the gym. Thank you. Oh wow, this guy has his gym open. He's lucky. Ontario's opening here soon too.
Yeah, next week they're opening everything but like hairdressers and stuff.
Not the restaurants yet. See, some restaurants, they already have social distancing. Like they, you still sit far, far away from each other.
I know. I'm sick and tired of this social distancing. It's not doing anything.
Like Jacob's, you go downstairs, it's like people are sitting far away from each other to begin with. Good luck to all of you people going out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've been going out every day.
So have I.
I've been taking my son on walks every day too for an hour.
I go to Home Depot all the time. I go to Home Depot now just because it's open and I can walk around there. I don't care. Social distancing isn't doing anything. You want to know why it's not doing anything? Because why are all the old people getting sick and why are all the young people not getting sick?
There's no social distancing within the stores, you know?
That's what I mean. I walk into Home Depot, people are walking all over each other. It's people have they've over exaggerated this whole thing. Man, I just can't fathom like how dumb the world is.
My announcer friend is in. He will do a free with his voice. For what?
I took it seriously the first month. I took it seriously the first month. I agreed the first month we all had to sort of sit back and just wait to see what happened. I agreed 100%. Don't know what's going on. Month 3, already know the stats, already know what's happening. Old people, immune systems that are deficient, preconditioned medical conditions, they're all dying. Young people, not happening. So that's my scientific analysis behind that. Month 1, we don't know what's going on, shut everything down. Month 2, figure out what's going on. Month 3, start making decisions that actually help people, not restrict people more. Actually, dude, my dad tested positive for COVID, so don't even talk about that. But you know what? He has a preconditioned health condition, and he's in a retirement home. So there you go. And currently, right now, he has chest pains, he can't breathe properly, and everything else. So don't talk to me about people that have COVID versus people that don't. It's a bullshit argument. Okay, I have someone in my family that basically is going to die next week because of it. It doesn't bother me. He has a preconditioned health condition. The retirement home caught it, and that's it. So therefore, not much we can do, right?
Yeah, like all the news I've been hearing, mostly they're coming from the retirement homes. Most of the news, and it's just like they could have. I mean, I don't know. I think there weren't any stricter measures taken there.
No, it's not. But you know what? This is the thing. As human beings, we have to understand there's a difference between an emotional response and a logical response, okay? It's emotional to feel bad that, you know, your loved one is going to die. You know, like your parents are going to get old, they're going to pass away. That's an emotional response. The logical response is nobody's going to live forever. We have to just accept that you're going to die. You know, one day you're just going to die. If you accept that, your logical response is, hey, I'm just going to live as best as I can with the information that I have, and I'm going to make the appropriate decisions, right? And that is all we have to do, is just think logically. Obviously, be upset when someone dies. That's the logical, emotional response. But the rational response after that is A, why did they die? B, it's natural to die. And C, we have to carry on. Like I can't understand this. People die every day. Do we have a list every morning of all the car accidents in the city? No. Do we have a list of all the people that died in the hospital yesterday? No. What do we have a list of right now are all the people dying from this virus. Why is this suddenly so special? There are so many viruses out there that hurt people every day. It makes no sense, all because they want to scare everybody.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I realized this like a long time ago. I mean, sometimes I have conversations with my brother, and we talk about that. Hey, listen, like our dad's gonna pass away one day. Like maybe hopefully he lives a long life, but he's gonna pass away the one day. And then we try to decide, okay, how are we gonna continue on with the family business? How are we gonna take care of things? Because that's inevitable. It's gonna happen. But if you have a emotional response for a long time, that's not gonna benefit you at all. I mean, that's what I've realized. I think mostly I've realized that through trading with accepting risk before making decisions and things of that sort. So, I mean, who knows? Let's see what happens. So, I mean, it's really hard to not have an emotional response, but you're right. Having like a logical response to that, it makes a perfect sense.
Yeah, I think it would be bad that somebody dies when they're young. I agree. That's a bad thing, right? So if someone could pull up a stat and give me an example where 70% of the deaths of this virus were related to young, healthy people, I would be the number one proponent of everybody stay home, everybody lock your doors, everybody do everything, right? That's what I would say. I would be the first person on any social media saying, stay inside, don't be stupid. But when it has nothing to do with anybody or anything, that's where I take offense. And people saying the economy is going to be fine, the economy is not going to be fine. You people are living in a delusional world. The fallout from this is going to be massive. You're going to see suicide rates. You're going to see assault. You're going to see people's anger. You're going to see all this stuff that's going to be the fallout. And you're going to be like, man, I wish we had opened up sooner, because now there are people killing each other. There's people that have no food, people that are hungry. People are going to die from the fallout. That's going to be the bigger thing. You're going to have people jumping off buildings because they can't support their family anymore. So now what? They're not supposed to die? There's going to be a lot of fallout, and I think a lot of people aren't ready for that. And I don't think you understand what's happened. There's businesses that are gone that are no longer going to be coming back. There's businesses that are done. Like, think about it. Down your street, there's a restaurant that's now closed forever. They're not coming back. What did that family do to live now? Where do they go to work? That was their livelihood. This is the bigger problem. You have millions of people that have lost their job, not getting them back. That is the problem. That is where we have a bigger problem. The future of society now has hinged on what? A couple 100,000 deaths? There's 7 billion people in the world. Think about that for a second. We've sacrificed 7 billion people for 200,000. That's the problem. And I'm a number one proponent for making rules, engaging rules, having things happen. But man, you are disproportionately sacrificing too many people for something that can be easily contained with proper rules.
Damn,
Wow,
that's a scary numbers.
man.
Oh wow.
480,000 people die every year in the United States from smoking cigarettes. Why aren't we doing anything about that? Why isn't someone standing up and doing rallies that, hey, 41,000 die from secondhand smoke? I mean, when this whole Corona thing came about and I saw the numbers, it didn't make sense to me. I'm like, this makes no sense at all. I mean, there are more people dying from other causes, but like, I don't know, man. It's just so weird.
Hmm.
Yeah. And there's another disease right now going on. It's called Kawasaki. It's attacking the young people.
Yeah, the young people are getting sick by that. Yeah, they had that in Canada too. But I mean, once again, that's the fallout of this. Like, it's funny when how come no one stops wars from happening? People die in wars. Oh well, we try. Well, how come you don't try harder? How come this has put such a precedence on things? Why are people so pushed and stressed about making sure that we do this to save people, but then we go to wars and people die every day? I don't understand. We can't live in a society where we pick and choose where we assert resources. You can't do that in a society. If you're going to do things that are going to commit harm to your bodies, if you're going to allow people to smoke, you're going to allow people to drink, you're going to allow people to do things that are reckless to kill them, you can't turn around and say, well, now because this disease will put stress on our healthcare system, we can't afford that. It's the same thing. We're making choices. If I make a choice to go out today and I get COVID, I don't want anyone saving me. I made the choice. I don't care. If I die, I die. That's the choice I made. I'm willing to accept that risk based on the statistics that I see. That's my choice. And let me make my choice. That's the bottom line. And I don't really care what anybody thinks. I have a choice. If I die, I'm not going to the hospital. Don't worry. I'll die in my bed. You won't have to worry about me. But that's the problem. People don't want that. They want both ends of the stick. Oh, I want to smoke for 20 years and then I want to go to the hospital and get a lung transplant so that I can live again. No, you chose to smoke. That's the potential outcome of smoking. You're going to die. You're going to get lung cancer. We don't help you once you get lung cancer because you decided to get lung cancer. That's not my choice. I don't have to help you. This is the biggest problem. People don't understand that. They make choices and then they want forgiveness. They want redemption. Well, I didn't know I was going to get lung cancer from smoking. Oh, I don't want to die now. Oh, okay. So when you're smoking all those times at the club outside, having a smoke with a beer, all that other stuff, there was no thought process there. Come on, like I can't deal with that. I don't smoke because I know that it could kill me. If there's a remote chance that it can kill me, I don't want to take that risk because that's intentionally harming myself. COVID, I don't care. I'm going to go outside. I'll take that risk because studies have shown that it's like a 1% chance that I'm going to get sick because I'm in my age group.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm hurting because of a family member. I'm not hurting at all. It's not. I wish I'm not worried about that. My dad's old, and he's supposed to die. Like, that's life. If he doesn't die, then the world becomes overpopulated.
Man, you guys don't know Ted as a person.
Yeah, it's realistic. No cap, right?
Yeah.
No hat.
Cap. No hat.
Visit a COVID unit in a hospital. All I have to do is go over to my dad's retirement home. Everybody has COVID there. What's your point? I'm going to carry the virus and spread it with people? Why am I going to spread it? Do you know how you spread the virus? You cough on people, you touch people, you sneeze on people. I don't do that. I don't touch things. I don't walk around like a kid in a store and touch things. I don't go up to people and breathe on them. I just walk by. I always keep social distancing in general. I've done that from day one. I don't want to be near people. I don't want to be in people's faces. When was the last time you walked up to somebody and talked to them so that you can see like inside their mouth? You've never done that. Obviously, you've never visited a COVID unit. Yeah, I visited my dad at the retirement home. You know what I did? I looked outside and I went through all the windows beside him and I saw all the people that looked sick and that were dying. What's your point?
Julio in jail. Yeah, Julio's going to jail soon.
I love riling people up. It's all right, and it's the reason why half the people in this world are unsuccessful and they struggle in life. I look at it that way. There's a direct correlation between people who struggle and people who can't rationalize logical thinking, right? First thing people complain about, oh, my job sucks. Well, the logical answer is to get another job. Oh, I can't do that. Where am I going to find the job? I don't know. Go apply to 1,000 jobs. Oh, that's a lot of work. There you go. There's your answer.
Biggest example is I was talking to somebody and they said that I haven't worked in 2 years and I've just been getting by doing these small like mortgage assessment cash jobs, whatever the fuck that is. And I said, okay, well, why don't you just go get a job and start from wherever you can start from? At least it's going to be a consistent income. They're like, oh no, I want to be somewhere in the HR in the office. I'm like, well, you have to start somewhere. He's like, yeah, I don't want to start from the bottom again. Then what are you gonna do? So far the SERP is coming in. I'm like, what? And then the discussion ended. I'm like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah. It's just funny. Like, I mean, the people is you know, a lot of times, there's solutions to many things, but people don't want to accept those solutions. Like, they don't want to accept the fact that life's hard or that life's unfair. They rather complain about it than do something about it. And that is probably the reason why a lot of people fail in life, right? They'll sit at a job for 8 hours a day and complain about their job. But then when you tell them to go get another job, they won't do it. They rather just complain about it, because it's easier to sit and complain about something than it is about taking action. And it's easier to be complacent and listen to the media, listen to the government, because the fallacy, and this is the biggest thing, and this is a simple thing that I want people to understand, is we're all humans. Okay, so we're all humans. We all have the ability to become politicians. We all have the ability to become media representatives. We all have the ability to become doctors. You know, it's a matter of following procedure, right? If I want to become a doctor, I take steps, I go to school, and I become a medical doctor. That in itself does not make me a better human being than the next person. It provides me with knowledge, but you have not inherited some special skill, because you still have to make decisions based on information that's given to you. And that doesn't mean that you're making the right decisions. It just means that you are using more information to make those decisions, right? When the media talks to people, the media decides how they will put the story together. It doesn't mean the media has created the story. It just means that they're choosing to speak about certain parts of the story, right? Because think about it. When you watch the news at night, the news is 30 minutes long. Each story is between 3 and 5 minutes. So you're telling me within 3 to 5 minutes, you have everything that you need to know about that story? You probably don't. What you have is you have what they believe is the most critical things for you to understand that story. That doesn't mean that it's the complete story, right? Politicians make decisions based on what their advisors give them information on. If an advisor is very conservative or an advisor is very aggressive, that decision can sway things, right? Because you have policy advisors that may be very conservative in some ideas and very aggressive in other ideas, right? So when we look at decision making is not linear. Decision making is not objective. There's always going to be a bias with that decision making.
And my challenge to people is, if we don't understand where that bias is coming from, do we believe that that decision is the best for everybody? Right? So when we look at how decisions are made, when we look at how the media gives information out, when we look at where we get our information from, that we have to take it with a grain of salt and say, hey, that person was reporting on this story. If we don't make the story entertaining, nobody's going to want to watch it. Right? When you think about it logically, what's the best thing to promote a story? Big headlines, things that capture your attention, whether it's good or bad, right? So we have to dissect the information that we're receiving, and we have to look below the catchy headline, right? Because obviously COVID is it's a very important thing right now. There's no doubt that there's a virus out there, it's doing things to people, but what's the first thing that they say? The first thing that they say is, hey, the virus is killing people. They don't say, by the way, there were 30 people that died because they had preconditioned medical conditions, and now COVID was the last condition that they got and then they died. No, because that headline is too long. They say people died. So you get a shock value. You now are naturally going to react to that. So just really be objective with the way that you take in information. And this goes for anything. It doesn't go just for the virus. It goes for anything that you're doing in your life. Just be objective on where the information is coming from and do a little bit more background information behind it as well. Because media sells shock value, whether it's good shock or bad shock, right? You watch sports highlights. They show the guy like catching the baseball running. They don't show the guy throwing the ball to first base for a general out, right? It's the highlight. You look at the highlight because that's the impact. So just really, be aware of things like that. That's all.
All right, everybody. I'm gonna head off over here. Oh, no, actually, let's just wait. I think gold's gonna hit 1748, 46. Just gonna watch this happen. Hey, Monty is in gold buys.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Very
Yes,
nice one.
I am indeed. Thank you very much. Yeah, I've been holding it for a long time, to be fair. I was playing it off that whole zone to the bottom, and then basically I stopped below that zone. And yeah, I was trying to anticipate the news to come later today, so I've been holding it for quite a long time, from like 31 and 34. So yeah, it worked out good. Nice end of the week.
Yeah, mate. Very
Yeah,
nice.
man.
Ooh, I just realized you can change themes on Slack.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
I did that the other day. I was like, oh.
Yeah, because in the early morning it's too bright, right? Like you see this light coming on, it's too
Yeah.
bright. And I'm just like, what's going
Yeah,
on over here?
I've got like a nice green colour.
Green,
Yeah, like a dark greeny colour.
like the Grinch.
Yours is like green. Yours is purple, right? Is it purple? Yeah.
Yeah, the background is white, so I want that dark.
Oh, you can change that bit.
Yeah, you can change it to a dark theme.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna have a play.
That's why you need blue blockers.
They're there to protect you from asteroids. Oh yeah, I see it.
Can you take a look at this chart? I'm not looking at any charts. I'm doing everyone a favor. Just call it a day and just enjoy, prepare for the weekend. Stuck at home.
Yeah, man. See you tomorrow, Raja.
Yeah.
Gonna have breakfast early tomorrow.
I've lost track of time with this. Staying in the house thing. It's all like the same time all the time. Go.
Yep, looks like it's moving here. Once it breaks above the high of the 15-minute, it's gonna fill the weekly wick up over here.
Mhm.
What?
Do it for the gram, gold. Let's go.
Yeah,
Keep
man.
pushing. Do it for Monty.
I've closed most of mine, to be fair. I closed one just at the end of that last candle.
Okay.
And then so I've only got like about 25% running now. To be honest, I had a weekly target in the 60s, but I don't think that's a little bit excessive.
Yeah. What, the weekly?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's gonna.
weekly and monthly. I was looking at in the like low 60s. That was actually my plan, but
Oh, okay.
I kind of saw what was on my screen. I was like, you know what, that's enough.
Well planned.
Yeah, man.
All right, guys. Have a good weekend.
Okay, Stefanos, take care.
I take care.
Yeah. You too, guys.
Consolidation and break, right?
Yeah.
Jack Game. Jack Game. I think you've been living under a rock or what's going on, but that was 5 years ago. 5 years ago. Man, I think Jack Game is I don't know, I don't even know the kind of words I want to say for Jack Game, but I mean, this is 5 years ago. This is irrelevant to what we do right now. Even if Ted made 200,000, what did you do? How did you help the people around you? Did you do the same?
It just, people always bring that video up, and it's like, what have I done over the last 4 years past that video? That person is the biggest fraud, which we figured out. And I went and I decided that, you know, I was going to help a community, and it turned out to be that was a fraudulent community. So yeah, he uses the video to promote himself, and there's nothing I can do about that, except now what I've done is I made my own community, which is bigger and stronger. And for the last 5 years, I've helped everybody else. So, I mean, I guess you're not entitled to make a mistake or have any problems. And then people Google, people have made websites about me, people have made troll pages. Man, if someone actually puts their name up to any of this stuff that's written and can verify that that is accurate because they're putting their name up, then I'll accept it. But nobody can do that, and that's the problem. Everyone can write anything they want on the internet, and then it sticks, and they're like, oh, well, look what you're doing. And it's like, well, look what I've done on the positive side. Don't look at what random things are. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like, I mean, you can go back through these YouTube videos for the last year, and how many trades have we called correctly? How much analysis have I given? And then you read a web page or a troll account and say, oh, he's a fraud? Well, come on, that's just ridiculous.
Shape of the world.
And
never good enough, mate. Never good enough.
It's just, it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, at this point, if there was actually something bad about me, I should have been hauled away a long time ago. Like, I'm so well known in social media. If I was doing something legitimately that bad, they should have just removed me. I should have been, like, the government should have come after me already. Like, it's just, man, it's crazy. But people, every week, there's always someone messaging me, hey, I saw there's a website or a video or a troll account. And it's like, really? That's your biggest question to me, is why did those things exist? Like, that's your only question to me. You come asking for FX help, but the first thing you ask is like, well, what about that? And it's like, all right, well.
what about the website or the video?
Yeah, exactly. You know, and it's like, oh, your brokerage is fraudulent. Okay, great. So it's been up for 2.5 years, and it's fraudulent. So why hasn't someone taken it down? Like, I'm confused. Like, if all these things are happening that are so bad, why am I still here? Why is this stream still here? Like, why are all these things still going? Like, I don't understand. It's just really interesting when I see that, like, the logic behind it. Once again, I mean, You know, if there were bad things happening, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be able to do a live stream because somebody would have already told YouTube that this was fraudulent. Like, I mean, it's simple.
Damn, Raja, you're
What?
sound on the platform. Are you taking trade or closing?
Oh, sorry, man. That was me. I thought no,
Oh.
I just moved my, I just
Oh,
moved my
that's
phone.
no.
Sorry. That's my bad. I thought it was on mute.
Oh man.
Just move my fraudulent trade.
I thought it was Mac, but I didn't find Mac.
No, he's done 6 today. It's all right. To be fair, he called a really good trade in London this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good.
Very nice.
All right, everybody. I'm gonna head off. Everyone have a good weekend. Take care. Have fun.
Yeah, man. Have a good one, boys and girls. I'll speak to you later on.
Also a great week.
Yeah.
Take care.
Peace out.
Yes.